Hello, everybody. Glad to be back. It's been a little bit since I was here talking to you guys last. I came on probably a couple months ago, talked about some mindfulness. So I'm here tonight to talk to you guys about gratitude. Great month to think about gratitude. So anyway, in case you don't remember, my name's Brenda Starr. I am a former school social worker, so I've spent 16 years in the schools. I know all about social emotional learning in the schools, spent a lot of time with that. So loving being here, talking to you guys, being able to share with you guys a little bit about some ways to incorporate social emotional learning into your classrooms. So again, tonight's going to be about gratitude. I'm hoping to share with you guys multiple ways that you can incorporate gratitude into your classroom. Into your classroom hopefully every day in November. I know today's already November 2nd, so maybe you've already had something yesterday and today, but ideally you walk away tonight with many ways that you can lead a social emotional learning lesson. You can incorporate it into other lessons, have it stand alone, either way. So hey, see a couple of you jumping on, awesome. So I wanted to start off tonight just telling you guys a little bit about gratitude. Now you probably already know about gratitude. You're thinking, duh, I already know what that means. But wanted to just clarify a little bit, because sometimes I think people think of gratitude just as I'm thankful for that. Just being thankful, telling someone thank you, that type of thing is gratitude, where really there's actually more to gratitude than just that. When you practice gratitude regularly, there are so many benefits that you can experience also. It's kind of amazing. Like I mentioned, I talked to you guys already about mindfulness. I'm here tonight to talk about gratitude. In a few months, I come back and I'm going to talk to you guys about having a growth mindset. And the three of those things together are kind of my passion. That's a little bit why I'm on here sharing that with you guys. I feel like when you have all three of those pieces working together, it can produce such an amazing effect on you, on your life, on your emotions and well-being. So again, super excited to talk about the gratitude piece tonight. So when you practice gratitude regularly, consistently, every day, you start to feel more positive emotions. Now this is going to be just like with the mindfulness that I shared. These are things that you as the adult, as the educator, staff member, can practice in your everyday. These are things you can use as lessons in your classroom to teach your kids. Everyone's going to benefit from these things that I'm going to talk about tonight. You will also, believe it or not, it will improve your health. When you practice gratitude every day, you have that way of being about you. You can actually experience your health improving. It's kind of amazing. It makes it easier to deal with adversity when things are hard and challenging. When you have that way of approaching things, it makes it feel easier. Helps to build strong relationships. So if you have a classroom of kids and you incorporate gratitude into your classroom regularly, you're going to notice some really strong relationships between kids. So, and especially if you have a maybe more challenging classroom. I can remember as my days of school social work, there were some classrooms that just had those kids that tended to challenge the adults just a little bit more than the other classrooms. So if you have one of those this year, this might be a great opportunity to use some of these things I'm going to talk about tonight, bring them into your classroom, just see if you can see some of those dynamics start to change. It really also does help to feel less lonely and isolated when you're showing gratitude and feeling gratitude towards things. It actually opens up connections with other people so that you don't feel so isolated. Mentioned earlier, it helps you feel better. It also actually helps you sleep better. This is just a list of many of the benefits you can get from practicing gratitude. And as I mentioned, if you pair it with the mindfulness that I've already talked to you guys about, and then upcoming when I talk about the growth mindset, all of that is amazing altogether. You just feel more optimistic. You are more generous, more considerate of other people. So if these are all characteristics that you would love to see more in your students, this is going to be some great stuff for you to pick up on tonight and again take back to your classroom. And I mentioned again, helps you feel better, get better sleep. Kind of along with that, it actually helps your immune system. So, in these times of illnesses, we're getting into the winter season. We've of course had COVID around for a while now. These are things that can actually help your immune system so that likely you'll maybe not get those illnesses. So again, so many benefits from practicing gratitude. It's amazing. So one of the things I wanted to share just before I'm getting ready to go into the actual things you can do for practicing gratitude. But one of the things I wanted to share, I mentioned it's a little bit more than just saying thank you, just thinking, I'm grateful for that. It's a little bit more than just that. So there's actually 4 steps to practicing gratitude. I don't know if everyone realizes that there are actual steps to it. So the first step is that you notice something. I'm just going to kind of give the steps real quick, and then I'll give an example so that you might understand more what I'm talking about with the steps. So the first thing is that you notice something. A second step is that you have a thought about the thing that you noticed. A third thing is then you have a feeling about it. And then a fourth step is actually doing something about it. I think maybe 1 to 2 of those steps get credit. You notice something, you say thank you. So there's a little bit of that. But really, honestly, when you're fully practicing gratitude as a mode of operating, like this is my thing, I practice gratitude all the time, you will tune in more to those steps. So again, it's noticing, having a thought, having a feeling, and then doing something about it. So I don't know if I mentioned in the beginning, I probably didn't. I teach social and emotional learning classes on OutSchool. So I work with a lot of different kids through OutSchool. Sometimes it's a one-on-one basis, and I can get really in-depth, kind of like a one-on-one tutoring type situation with kids. So we work in depth on particular skills. This is an example that I like to use for them so that they can kind of see what I mean by those 4 steps. So noticing, have a thought, have a feeling, and then do something about it. So when you're teaching your kids gratitude, it's great to teach them these steps also. So the example would be to a kid, I'm saying. So you're sitting in the living room and mom or dad is making supper. And all of a sudden you notice, I smell something. I love to use pizza as my example because I love pizza. So you're sitting there on the couch. I smelled something. I noticed the smell. I have a thought. I know what that smell is. That smell is pizza. Third thing is, I have a feeling about that. And I love pizza. So now I am super happy and super excited that we are having pizza for supper. So when I go to the kitchen to eat supper, I do something and I tell mom or dad, thank you so much for having pizza for supper. So there were actually 4 steps to that process of practicing gratitude. So as I mentioned, as you teach this to kids, just you yourself, however, keep in mind those 4 steps. So sometimes it might be that you notice something and you have a thought or feeling, and that's kind of where it stops. That doing part doesn't always apply in every situation. However, the more times that you can do all 4 steps, the more benefit that you're going to get. So some of these examples I'm going to give don't really include the giving part. You can alter them a little bit to include a way to give it if it's not clearly in my example. But nonetheless, if you just even do portions of those 4 steps, you're going to feel the benefit. So it's just depending on the situation. If you can do all 4 steps and actually do something for them, give them something, tell them something, that just solidifies that gratitude piece. But if that piece isn't there, that's okay too. So hopefully you have your pencil and paper handy. I'm going to give you some examples here of some activities that you can use in your everyday classroom activities. So again, these are things you can do as a separate lesson. You can incorporate it into an activity that you have going on, anything like that. So one example of a way to practice gratitude is have the students draw a picture of 3 things that they love in nature. So there's many things in nature that we can align with, that we appreciate, that we just enjoy. So just have them think about that. Think about 3 things that last time they were out in nature that they really enjoyed, and then draw a picture of those 3 things. Now, if you want, this will be an example. If you wanted to add on that doing part, maybe they could draw 3 different pictures, give each picture to a person just as saying, hey, here's something I really enjoy. I'm giving it to you. I hope you enjoy it also. I'm really grateful that I get to be in nature and see beautiful trees. So that kind of adds on that doing step. So that's one example. Another example, great way to tell people thank you. One way is, of course, just verbally telling them thank you. But to kind of make it a little bit of a bigger deal is to write a thank you note and give that thank you note to the person. So maybe there's someone in your school that has done a really great job, a lunch person, a janitor, a secretary, a particular teacher that has gone above and beyond, whoever, however, but have the classroom write them a thank you note, and each person can give them that thank you note. Maybe they can think of, so there's kind of 2 levels to that one. Someone kind of right there with you, and then maybe someone farther away. Maybe they have someone at home that they want to give a thank you note to. Maybe they have a relative that doesn't live local where they're at, and they want to send this thank you note to them. So there's many levels around writing a thank you note that can give a little bit more, bang for your buck with that gratitude piece. So that's another method. A third way, have them start to learn a practice of giving gratitude before they eat. This doesn't necessarily mean a religious part, like they need to say a prayer or something like that. That's definitely not what I'm saying there. But it's just showing gratitude. Just whoever's serving the meal, you can tell them thank you for serving the meal. Maybe you saw someone go above and beyond with the meal, and so you're thanking them. But just being grateful, maybe just grateful for the fact that there's food to eat today. So just, again, around before you eat, showing gratitude. Maybe as part of a writing activity that you want your kids to do. So it's, multiple benefits here. You're getting a writing activity in also. But have them write a story about a memory that they're grateful for. So that kind of goes back a little bit. Let's think about some things that we're grateful for. Maybe they'll even think of more than one thing that they're grateful for by doing that. But then again, have them write a story about it. Can post the stories for everyone to see. That's kind of a way of giving. Again, maybe they have a special person they want to give this story to. Anything like that to add that doing part to it. Another great thing, and you can start this now and have it be in your classroom for the whole rest of the year. But having a gratitude jar is great. So students, there'll be little slips of paper there, and students have that ability to write something on it that they're grateful for and put it in the jar. Maybe when the jar is full, you can pull them out and read them, maybe once a week, once a month, twice a month, whatever method like that would work for you. But that allows the students to, write down what they're grateful for. Think about it, write it down. Then when you read it out loud, everyone's hearing it. Of course, it'd be ideal to not do it by name necessarily, just anonymous gratitude thoughts in the jar. And you can even have them help create the jar. Maybe it's some kind of fancy thing that each student does a little something different too. So that kind of gives it a little bit of a sense of community as well. Maybe as a fun activity, you guys can listen to a song that they're grateful for. So have them kind of do a little brainstorming. What songs are you grateful for? Make a list. Once a week, we're going to have our fun gratitude song, maybe once a day. And we just listen to this song, enjoy it. Maybe that'd be an opportunity for some physical movement. Get up a little bit, dance to your song. But again, that component of gratitude. I'm grateful that I know of this song, and I'm grateful that I get to listen to it. While the weather's nice, so you better hurry. I don't know what it's like where you're at, but here where we're at, it's definitely starting to get cold. But going on a walk is a great idea. Going on like a gratitude walk. So maybe, we've been sitting for a while. We need to get up and walk around. Go take a walk around the playground or, wherever you're able to take a walk around. And just notice things that you're grateful for. So it doesn't have to be right here on the playground. We can notice things over across the street, down a block, wherever. And you can even let kids know at a different time, like maybe when they're at home. It's great to go on a walk like that with family, with friends, especially again through nature. That kind of gives you that, again, opportunity to be out there in nature, find things that you're grateful for in nature. But that's another example. I believe maybe I'm up to number 9. I have them wrote down here in front of me so I don't forget them. And I think we're up to about a number 9 type of thing that you can do for gratitude. So, a next one, this wouldn't necessarily apply at school per se, but you could tell kids about it. Maybe you can alter it in a little way to have it happen at school, but sharing something you're grateful for before you go to bed at night is another really great way to kind of end your day on that grateful note. So maybe at school, of course, again, they're not going to be going to bed at school, but maybe it's showing that moment of gratitude before they go home at the end of the day. And then tell them, this is another great thing to do tonight before you go to bed at night. So kind of setting the example, doing it at school, and then let them know how they can apply it even at home as well. I love when these social emotional learning content topics can happen at home, at school, and then still be applied at home as well. So, if you send a weekly or a monthly newsletter home, incorporate some of these ideas into the newsletter to let the families at home then further these gratitude activities at home as well. More bang for your buck, because the more opportunities that the kids can practice this, the more benefits that everyone's going to have. Okay, so another one, write down, like, you can do how many of you want, but say write down 5 things about you that you're grateful for. So again, maybe you can incorporate like a writing activity along with it, but having them think about just themselves. What about me am I grateful for? Many times when we think of gratitude, we think of it as outward focused kind of things. What's going on out here? What do I see out here? What's happened out here? That kind of thing, where really there are things about ourselves that it's great to be reflective on and say, I'm grateful for this about me. So have them do that. Write down 5 things about themselves that they're grateful for. So I think we might have had this one. I did. Sorry, I have something wrote down twice. Scratch that one. Great way to incorporate gratitude is also using their senses. So again, this could become a writing activity as well if you want. There's various ways around this one that you could do. But basically it's using your 5 senses and then noting things by using that sense that you're grateful for. So it would be, what are, like, let's say 3 things. What are 3 things that I'm grateful for that I can see? What are 3 things I'm grateful for that I can hear? What are 3 things I'm grateful for that I can smell and taste and touch? So you use all 5 of your senses. You note down, and again, it's a great writing activity. Just have your senses listed, 1, 2, 3 underneath each one, and then the kids can write on there what things they're grateful for based on that sense. As I said, there's various ways you can do this. So you can do it as a maybe longer writing activity. Let's do all 5 of them today. Right now, maybe you could do 5 today and do 1, in the morning, 1 midday, 1 around lunch, afternoon before they go home. Spread the 5 out throughout the day. Also, of course, there's 5 days in a week that they're at school. Maybe you do 1 sense a day and spread the 5 senses out throughout the week, just focusing on that 1 sense throughout the day. So there's various ways. That can also tie into if you're able to do a walk. think about these senses when you're out on the walk. That can tie into our writing activity that we're going to do later around gratitude and writing about those things we noticed on the walk. So again, many ways you can kind of incorporate these in together to make it a gratitude theme throughout the month of November. And another great one that I love, we're in fall time, so trees and leaves, those are great themes here in fall time. So, maybe on a bulletin board or something like that, you put a tree trunk, and then you have cut out leaves that throughout the month they can write the things on that they're grateful for. So this kind of replicates the gratitude jar. However, the gratitude jar can be, all year long. The tree theme is a little bit more applicable to the season that we're in right now. So again, if you have a base of a tree and then leaves that kids can write things on and just post them, have it be available for a week. Maybe have it available for the whole month, and they can keep adding. See how many leaves you can get on this tree throughout the month. So those are all great ideas. One last idea I have, that this is really honestly a very powerful, and this is kind of why I saved it for my last one to share with you guys, is a gratitude journal. So if there's a way that you can create, if there's a notebook, maybe you, make a template yourself, print it out, and you can do several pages, put it together. But the idea of doing a gratitude journal is huge for kids to see that benefit. That can be a daily writing prompt, throughout this month of November. Let's write in our gratitude journal, these kind of things. So some ideas for you to put within a gratitude journal. Of course, it's great if you can do it every day. And then say like at the end of the month, you go back and look at each day of the month, kind of a reflective kind of thing. Wow, think about all these things that we have noted we're grateful for throughout the month. Let's revisit that and remember those. So it's great. So you would have kind of like the day or date, both, whatever, to kind of signify, here's a new day. Things like I'm thankful for. And then just have number 1, 2, 3. Let them think up to maybe 3 things that they're thankful for that day. Write them on there. This person made me happy today. Have a little spot for them to draw a picture. They can maybe either draw a picture of that person, they can write that person's name. Whenever I've done this with kids before, I always leave it up to them. Some kids are more artistic than others, and they love the drawing the pictures. Others are like, that's a chore and I don't like to draw. I just want to write a name. And in all honesty, for me, any of that's fine, because the concept of gratitude is happening whatever mode they do. But anyway, the point is to, think of a person that made them happy, that they're grateful for. You can kind of do a star rating of the day, I feel, and then have like 5 stars and let them fill in what type of a day they're having. Are they having a 5-star day? And again, when I do this with kids, I always help them to see 5-star days are those fantastic, over the top, better than ever kind of days. So a 5-star day is probably not going to be every day. 5-star days are like birthdays, holidays, special days, just a fantastic thing happened today. So 5-star days are great, but not probably every day. More than likely, something like a 3 or 4-star day is going to be typical. Maybe if it's a really good day, 4.5, something like that. If they're having 1 and 2-star days, that probably means maybe there's something going on. 1 and 2 stars is kind of low, but 3 to 4 is pretty average. So just kind of helping them see that. Like, I feel like sometimes as I've done this with kids, they feel like they need to have that 5-star day every day. I'm supposed to have a great day and put a 5-star every day, but that's also probably not realistic. And you don't want them thinking, I need to have this 5-star day every day. So just to kind of keep that piece in there too. And then also you can add a little part. What was the best part of my day? And then, again, they can write some words. They can maybe, a sentence or 2 telling about it. Maybe they want to draw a picture, but just kind of some open space for that. And then let them kind of dictate how they want to handle that. But that is a great way every day to do a focus on journaling. And maybe you don't do all of that at one spot. Maybe it's kind of like the 5 senses. You do a piece of it when they first come in, you know, rate their day, maybe middle of the day. Let's see what kind of a day we're having, and we're only halfway through it. You know, what was the best part of my day is probably going to be ideally done towards the end of the day. So those are just kind of some ideas. And again, a gratitude journal is great to keep ongoing and be able to reflect back on it. So again, those are just some ideas of ways that you can incorporate some social and emotional learning around gratitude into your day. I hope they were helpful. Feel free to reach out to me with any questions. I'll check back into the comments, what have you, to see if there are any questions that you guys have. But again, I hope you find them helpful. Hope you find a way to incorporate this into your classroom. Again, ideally here in November, it's a great time for it. If not, whatever month that you feel it would fit well, I hope these are helpful lessons. So again, let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for letting me be on here today again. I appreciate that opportunity. And I'll look forward to seeing you guys again in a few months. So have a great rest of the day. It's almost done, but have a great rest of the week and great November also. All right, thanks. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.